All right. Hey, Grandpa. You just want to introduce yourself first for the camera?
Yeah, I'm Grandpa Cheney, 95 years old, born on Washington, 1921, by between Chehalis and Kelso.
All right. So my first question to you, where were you and what were you doing when the attacks on Pearl Harbor hit?
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
I was in Kodiak, Alaska, working on a base.
And were you in the military before or after Pearl Harbor hit?
After.
After. And what did you do when you enlisted? Did you sign up for Army?
Army. I volunteered for the draft.
And what made you join the military?
The attack on Pearl Harbor.
That was amazing. So what was boot camp like?
Pardon?
What was boot camp like?
Well, it was fairly easy.
Fairly easy. Anything that stood out to you that really were, like drill instructor? Were they pretty hard? Or?
Well, everything seems so foolish.
Okay.
Hard to find a reason for everything.
Yeah. So, where did you get deployed for your first assignment overseas?
For overseas,
Mm-hmm.
I landed around North Africa.
North Africa.
I was in a replacement unit.
And do you know about what time that was? Like what month and what year that was?
Seems like it was 42. It was after. I can't remember the month. It was in the winter months. Cold at night, hot in the day.
Uh-huh. And did you know before you got deployed to Africa if you were either going to Europe or to the Atlantic or to the Pacific?
No,
You didn't know? Okay. How did you feel when you got the word that you were being deployed overseas?
I was wondering what it would be like. I didn't have any idea.
So a little bit of excitement,
Oh, yeah,
nervous.
that was excitement.
Was most guys like that? Most guys were excited, a little bit nervous.
Yeah, that was,
How long were you overseas for?
2 years, 24 months, and 21 days. I think.
That's a long time. What did you think of the Nazis and the Italians at the time?
Well, I just thought the Italians were great people, were friendly, and the Germans were pretty brutal.
What general were you under the command of at the time in Africa, or did it change
Mark
from when
Clark.
McClark?
Mark Clark.
Oh, Mark Clark. Okay. And what outfit were you in?
34th Infantry.
And what was your specific job?
I was a rifleman runner for the captain. Our first job.
Now I heard a story from Bompa. It says that you were actually a mechanic before you got into the infantry. Is that true?
Yeah, I trained for the ordnance, but I got a fever when I was in Virginia. And the outfit, I was in the hospital, and the ordnance outfit was shipped overseas, and I wasn't with them, so I never got back into contact with them. and they did replacements over in North Africa. The South had lost the whole regiment, captured, so it was needed there.
Interesting. What do you remember? What type of gear you carried? What your equipment was?
I carried a Garand rifle for a while, then an 03 bolt action, because the other one was jammed in the dust, and dirt, and sand. A lot of guys were tearing the guns down and cleaning them during battle.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a grenade launcher and two on my rifle. Carried a grenade for launching.
Interesting. Anything else you carried? Did you carry like one of those little different kind of pocket knives that had the fork and the spoon on it?
Well, a bayonet, yeah, we had those. And
Canteen.
canteen, gas mask. They were pretty particular about that.
Did the Germans or Italians, did they use a lot of chemical warfare while you were there?
No,
No.
we was always afraid of it. It's gonna happen.
That's why you guys carried the gas
Mhm.
masks. So where did you eventually end up during the end of your deployment?
Up by Milan, Italy, by the Alps.
Oh, the Alps.
Foot
Interesting.
of the Alps.
So it started in North Africa, made it all the way up to the Alps of Italy.
Yeah.
Long time. Was there any specific moment or event that really stood out to you that you enjoyed?
I didn't enjoy hardly any of it. It was all miserable.
How did you feel about your commanding officers for your unit?
Well, they were good. A lot of people was talking about shooting the commanding officers, but you never felt that way. You always needed the men there, and you didn't want to destroy anybody's life when they could fight.
Mm-hmm. How was the food?
It was cold a lot of times.
It's cold.
Had cold sea rations. A lot of indigestion.
Oh,
But otherwise, it was good. They were good about getting hot food up to it.
that's good. How did people entertain themselves, like during your downtime, if there was any?
Oh, we'd go on R&R, usually to Naples or some big city.
When did you know the war was over?
Everything turned quiet. Never knew silence could be so beautiful. And the announcement, we knew it was coming to that because whole regiments or battalions and divisions the Germans would give up.
Interesting. Were you awarded any medals?
Unit citation, that's for the company, for what the battles they've done.
And what battles did you fight in?
Oh, all through North Africa and into Italy. I can't remember all those
The name.
battles
Yeah.
exactly. There's a lot of them.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
Just by letters,
Letters.
yeah.
And what did you do after the war?
I went to work in the lumber industry. falling and bucking timber. And then I worked some in the mill and mechanic work, construction.
Mhm. Did you have a? Did you guys look up to like the president at the time? Did you think he was doing a good job?
Thought he was great.
FDR.
Mm-hmm.
And my last question, did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
I just come to hate war. It's the most barbaric method there is to settle an argument. It's foolish. I think more effort should be put into negotiating for peace.
Have you ever felt the want to go back to where you fought, like present day, and see where you were at?
In a way, I'd like to, yes. Other way, I don't know how I'd react to it.
And I just have a question. What does the tattoo right here mean on your left arm?
Oh, it's liberty. It's supposed to be. I got that in Indianapolis, in Illinois. A buddy of mine took me home with him, and his dad knew this tattoo artist. We went to Indianapolis, and he owed him some money, so he took the guy and put a tattoo on him.
Very cool. And how about the one on the other arm?
This one's for my Social Security number. And I had that put before I went overseas, so I could be identified if I lost my dog tag.
Well, Grandpa, thank you for the interview. That was awesome. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Grandpa. That was awesome.